Alright, good afternoon, Radioman here, and did a basic little video of Nearfest 2023. And first thing I'd like to add, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. It kind of helps me out trying to grow the channel here. Wanted to go over everything that I got at Nearfest 2023. It's a ham fest, but there is a lot of CB equipment there, and also a lot of the ham stuff, you know, like coax and towers and antennas, obviously can be used on CB radio. So it's in Deerfield, New Hampshire. It's held twice a year, spring and fall. I typically camp out down there. Have some video, a couple pictures in the video. My little camping setup. It's very basic. Just got a little bed frame I made that goes in the back of the truck. So anyways, here, everything you see here, I added it up, and I'll go through each piece of equipment. I think I paid about $215 for everything you see here. And I'll kind of start my way this end, work my way that way down the table. Nothing too exciting here. This is actually a 6-meter radio. I'm also, you guys know, an amateur radio operator. I have one of these. It was given to me by a friend. I'm not going to go over too much about it. It's the 100-watt model. It's the 5054 DX100. I have one of these. It's perfectly good. He wasn't sure if it worked, and he said, just take it. You know, close friend of mine. So the next thing, this is this was a package deal. This is an Alliance rotor controller with the model 73 rotor. I don't know if you can see that. So anyways, I have one of these already and the controller, but I had some broken parts on here, and now I got a spare one, a spare controller. So I picked that up. Whoa! Almost dumped it on the floor there, boys. What the hell? Oh, I see why. We're missing something there. Alright. Next thing that I got was just given to me by a friend. Didn't pay anything for this. Just a simple mixer that if I can play with here. So, oh, there's one more thing. It's off camera right now. Let me grab that. I was testing it last night. I just paid $5 for this. Just a meter. It does nothing wrong with it. Nothing real fancy. I just $5 meter. So anyways, moving on to the next thing. In the video I mentioned later, a lot of the D104s down there were like, this is the amplified one too, the Tug 9. Can we get in on that? Come on. Well, anyways, it's a Tug 9 stand. I don't even know if this works. The guy wanted $25 for it, and I don't really care. I like the style of the mic. If there's a problem here, I already know just looking at the cord. I'm gonna replace that, clean this up. Cosmetically, I think the mic will clean up. If there's a problem with the element, I can fix all it. For $25, I'll buy these all day long. I don't even need it, but for that kind of money. The next thing I got, and this was just like a dumb impulse buy. I bought a ball and spring antenna. I've never seen one like this. This spring is way beefier than the other, I don't know what they call these types of springs. It's like galvanized. It's just missing the little stud that goes there. But but I had the ferrule. I didn't really need this, but I was like, wow, look at this spring. Just to give you a comparison on springs. This is the normal spring that you usually see. Look at that. This is a beefy ass spring. In Maine, these things friggin' rust. I don't know. This was a pretty neat spring. I paid like $10 for that. I just got it. It was an impulse buy. Let me adjust my camera over here. So the next thing I got, the guy had $50 listed on this. This is a Midland 13-898B, 23 channel AM sideband radio with mic. The guy said it worked. He had $50 on it. I wasn't even trying to beat the guy up. It's in excellent shape. Here, let's do this so you guys can see it a little better. Gotta move that ball and spring antenna. Just pop the front of it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. Here, let's do this too. So the clock works. I used it last night. It sounds great. Guy said, I don't want to take it home, so I'm giving good deals. I wasn't even trying to beat the guy up. I pointed to the price tag and I said, is that the good deal price? Wasn't really that interested in it. And he goes, I don't know, give me $25 for it. I like it. It's really nice. It's made in Japan. I think it's stamped 1975 on the back. I tried to do this to the camera. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, 1975. As you guys can see, it's very clean. The inside's clean. Whoever owned this stored it correctly. I got home, opened the door to the back of my truck. My dog jumped on it, scratched the bezel a little bit. She was excited to see me, I guess. So you'll probably be seeing that on Old Radio Night. I used it. I got good reports on it. Just a nice looking console type of a radio. There, set that down. The next one, there's a little bit of a video in this down at the Ham Fest. So the guy that was selling this had no price on it. I just picked it up. What do you want for it? I didn't even really want one of these, but I got a friend who wants to get into CB. And he said, I don't know, $200. It's not the latest version. It's the early version. I think there's like the 2 now. But anyways, I kind of just was like, nah, not interested. But then I said, do you know if it works? Well, I don't know. I got it from a friend. Okay. So he says, give me 100. I was like, geez, for 100, I'll pop on that. It's sort of new in the box. It has everything. It looks like, you know, the power cord's kind of janky, but radio's real clean. Why don't I pause this so I can get it out here and show you? So it came with the mic. Radio's in nice shape. The guy, so he said 100. I was gonna just give him the 100 for it. And he says, well, let me test it for you. I got a pickup truck here with a Wilson. I'm not going to bother putting that back in on video. So, well, here, I'll put it so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So, he went to test it. You know, you open up the door on a pickup truck, and there's really only room for one person. He's hooking the cigarette plug in. He's putting the antenna on it. And I was trying to be involved in the testing, but only so many people can fit in the door frame of a pickup truck. And he's turning it on, and I could tell that he didn't know how to use the radio, nor do I, in terms of, like, I know how to use a radio, but, you know, the intrinsically unique features to this radio. I could tell something wasn't right, and he called over his buddy who was tailgating next to him and said, hey, fire up on 19. They fire up on 19. His radio was squealing. I don't know what these guys knew or what was going on, but it sounded more like it was his friend's problem. And then he tried to talk, and his friend says, I don't really hear you that good. And then he started the truck. He tried it again, and it sounded like they were one channel off. And I was trying to, like, help, and the guy kept kind of, if I do this on camera, kind of kept shoulder covering me. He was like doing this, you know, and I'm over here trying to help. Tried 3 times. Guy didn't want my help. I offered to get on the radio and participate in the test. So the guy looked at me and said, I don't know, it doesn't work, $25. Okay. Took it back to my truck. The problem was they had can I find it on here? They had the 10K enabled. So when they put it in CB mode, it was one channel off. So I ran it last night, got good reports. I think this is going to go to a friend of mine. I'd keep the radio. If my friend decides he doesn't like it, I'll just take it back. For that kind of money, I don't care if it sits on my shelf. So this was a good find. These are just some XLR cables, another local. He just handed to me. They were excess. I need to show you guys XLR cables. So the next one, I kind of wanted to add some console type radios to my collection. This came from a friend who unfortunately went silent key, and his family was getting rid of his stuff. So they wanted $75 for it. They couldn't really tell me much about it, if it worked. I know some of you are watching this and, oh, that should have went for more money. But they were like, hey, we're not going to test this stuff. Just come get it. So it's condition-wise, I don't know. So you can see some scratches there. Overall, it's okay. Just eyeballing it. It turned on. That's about all I knew. So I got it home last night. I found that the SWR mod meter's not working. The pots are a little dirty. It's a little crunchy. Other than that, everything works. Radio sounds great. Like I said, the condition is so-so. But I think it'll clean up good. I'm not worried about the meter or clean up the pots. Radio's not modded in any way that I can tell in terms of like extra channels or anything. I believe the mod limiter's intact from what I could hear last night. But so I get a lot of times from people, let me back up here, you guys. I get a lot of times from people, geez, you know, how did you find that, you know, type thing. And, or how'd you get that deal? And what I tell people is you got to go out to these things and, like a politician, you got to press flesh, you know, shaking hands with people. I hand out a business card when I meet people. People call me on the phone, they run into things, and you got to go out and you got to look at the things on the tables. You got to look at the things under the tables because you know, find things like this. It's kind of it's a social event. You get to see the people you meet on the radio, and somebody that's new into the hobby who doesn't have a lot of money. This weekend, you could have easily outfitted yourself for under $200 with a great radio, coax, antenna, everything you needed to get started. Probably less than that. I'm just saying $200 off the top of my head. You might have outfitted yourself even cheaper. I saw $200. I saw them selling old President radios for $2. Just looking right here, you know, I don't know about a 23 channel for a beginner, but something like this, I understand maybe a new person might not be as savvy and that might have turned them off like what I ran into. But the fact of the matter is if we go to these things with our friends and we work together, this is a great way to get going in the hobby cheap and go as a group with people that have experience and we can help each other and all that. And you know, the guy sold me this 23 channel Midland, said, well, you know, it's only 23 channels and there's no one around locally. And I said, well, we do an old radio night. That's all I'm going to use that for. Channel 12, old radio night. Oh, excuse me. I'm not allowed to use old radio night anymore. So to avoid confusion, it's Radioman's fun adventure radio time, otherwise known as FART. So old radio night in Maine is forever now to be known as fun adventure radio time. And this is where it's good. People enjoy this. And we tell people you don't have to have an old radio. But it's an opportunity for us to dig out those crusty radios. And this isn't really crusty, but it's a nice old radio. It's stock. It's beautiful. So anyways, I'll get to a little bit of a short video that I made of my time down at Nearfest. I wanted to show you guys everything that I got. And, you know, to add to the fun CB radio hobby. So enjoy the rest of the video. Now we'll try to document here. On the road, truck's defrosted. Picked up a coffee. Traffic's pretty light here. We're in southern Maine, going through Kennebunk, heading down to New Hampshire. We'll have some more updates of Spring Near Fest 2023. So one of the things I'm noticing down here, a lot of D104s, all going for like $100. Surprised I got the one I got for 30. So I'll show you guys later. A lot of CB radio equipment. I'm actually kind of surprised that it's down here, and some of it's priced wishful and some of it's priced pretty good. Some of the, like I said, a lot of D104s down here, but seems to be something for everybody. Let me know and I'll get some pictures of some stuff and show you guys here later in the video. I honestly gotta stop. So the guy wanted $200 for this, brand new in the box. Still got the shipping label on it of who it went to. I said, does it work? And he's like, well, I don't know. I said, okay. He says, how about 100? And I says, she's about to pull my wallet out. And he goes, well, let's hook it up in my truck. I think they were doing something wrong because his buddy, I think the battery was dead on his truck because his radio was squealing. And the guy goes, oh, brother, will you take 25? I said, oh, sure. I'll take 25 for this. I have a feeling there's nothing wrong with this.